Hi, everybody. Wait. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I am not selling you anything today. I promise. I'm not selling you anything today. I just want to have a conversation with you because it's been like since never that I've ever done this. And it's time. It's time that I do. But before I do, I had to say this. My iPad, I have a brand new iPad, has a very high def camera. So I had two focus options that I could pick from. The one that you see here, which is basically you get to see the inside of my office, or the one where you get to see up close all the large pores that I have in my face. So you're welcome that you get to see the inside of my office. But also let's do a little bit of brow appreciation. So look at these brows. Yeah, look at them. They're gorgeous. So I don't have any makeup on today, and there's a reason for that. And it's because I had microblading done to my eyebrows about a week ago. And Beth, man, they stuck. And I'm not referring to myself in third person. Beth is the one that did my eyebrows at the Arched Studio in Zionsville, Indiana. So Brows by Beth on Instagram is an amazing person inside and out. And I have to say, she's done them a couple of times, and this time they really stuck. I'm taking really good care of them too. So yay. I'm super excited. I can't wait to see what they look like in about a week when they're fully healed. But anyway, so I digress. So why are we here today? So about 3 months ago, I had surgery. Now I'm still in recovery, and I didn't really gatekeep that for any particular reason. I just one of those things where I was going through a process and I needed to focus on that process, and the people that were in my inner circle knew what was going on. And quite honestly, I didn't know whether or not I was even going to share that with the whole general public, but I want to use this as an opportunity to educate. And so that's the reason why I'm here today. Also, because I've had a couple people come into my DMs and say, hey, what's going on with you? And so this is what's going on with me. So 3 months ago, I had bariatric surgery. To be specific, I had the gastric sleeve. Now, the gastric sleeve is where they remove 80% of your stomach and relieve, obviously, the other remaining 20%. And it's a tool. It's a tool to learn how to navigate the world of food and take better care of yourself and lose the weight and just live better. And quite honestly, this is not a conversation around pushing bariatric surgery to be the fix-all, cure-all for the disease. And yes, it is a disease, don't argue with me, of obesity. And but it is something that has worked for me. So there is a little bit of a backstory to this. So hang on for the ride, okay? I'll try to keep this as brief as possible. So a couple of years ago, I met with my cardiologist, and I should say that I do have a cardiac condition that is electrical in nature and is not fixable by surgery. So it's kind of a really big catch because my cardiac issue was causing my weight gain. My weight gain was exaggerating my cardiac issue. So there was no win-win here at all. I did all the things, I did the Weight Watchers thing. I did the Jenny Craig thing. I did keto. I did, the carnivore thing. I did, intermittent fasting. I did meal preps, and I know how to count macros very well, mind you. I've done lots of cardio. I've done heavy weightlifting. I was a gym rat for years. And I also did the prepackaged meals sent to your home type thing. And I also did pills by my provider, not on my own, not all over-the-counter stuff. And I also did the injections that are all the rage right now, like the Saxenda Wegovy and stuff like that. And the problem with all of that is that I was having reactions to that and severe side effects. And so I had to stop. And we had to think outside the box on what we needed to do to fix this. So I started entertaining the idea of bariatric surgery. So initially it was going to be the lap band, and after some research and after some conversations and even getting a surgery date 2 weeks before my surgery, I decided not to do it because the maintenance was going to be too high for what I currently do for my job. And honestly, most lap band procedures end up going into a gastric sleeve anyway. So I went back to my primary care and I said, let's think something else. Let's think about maybe the sleeve. So we went back to ground zero. And so she recommended a surgery group here in town. And quite honestly, I was like, bonus, because I was like, "Ah, man, is there any place around here that will actually do that?" And there's actually a couple of different places around here that'll actually do that. And I met with the surgeon initially virtually, and then have started my process that I needed to do to get my insurance company to pay for it. I am one of the lucky ones where my insurance company will pay for it, and I'm so glad that it did. It's a very expensive process, and I couldn't be happier with how my insurance has handled the whole thing. And so, yeah. Ended up going to multiple nutrition classes, having a 3-hour pre and post-op discussion with 28 of my new best friends, my little berry besties out there. And it was very informative. And as a healthcare professional, I don't claim to know everything, and I just know enough to be dangerous. But like most people, I get on the internet and I research, and I want to make sure that, what I'm seeing is actually valid. And I happened to trip across a bariatric coach, love you, Chelsea, and decided, you know what? Why not? I needed to be able to have a conversation with someone that has actually had the process done and who could talk me off the ledge, because I knew I needed to do this. And the nutritionist that I was talking to and the surgeon that I was talking to, they've not had this done. There's a handful of nurses and an MA in the actual office that had it done. And they were great resources, but honestly, I needed more of a coaching approach. That's just how I function. And so 12 weeks prior to my surgery, I had some conversations with Chelsea, and she helped me figure out a way to navigate, how to handle stressful situations, things like that, because I have a stressful job. That didn't involve food, or, can I have a social life without food? And, things like that, because as Americans, our portions are massive. And if you watch TV at all, which I don't hardly anymore, the commercials are nothing but food. Right. So, so there's different avenues that I've taken that, have been helpful for me in my recovery process. So while he was in there, he fixed my hiatal hernia, and the hiatal hernia is so this is your diaphragm, your stomach is sitting up underneath here, and your stomach starts pouching through the diaphragm because your esophagus is up here. And what he did is he pulled that stomach back down where it was supposed to be and just kind of stitched it into place. What that did for me is it eliminated my heartburn. I don't have heartburn anymore. It eliminated my reflux. Don't have that anymore either. And I have never felt better in my entire life. Now, the first couple of days at home were a little rough. I did have to stay overnight in the hospital. And I had a liquid diet for several weeks, and then graduated to pureed, and then graduated to soft, and then graduated to regular food. That does move pretty quickly. And I will tell you that when I was on my liquid diet, I was miserable because I wanted to choose something so bad that I wanted to feel like I was actually doing something to get my nutrition in. And, but 2 weeks later, I was able to have my chewable multivitamin, and that kind of helped. And then I was on a pureed, and that helped even more. And so on and so forth. So knock on wood, that I have not had any adverse reactions to any food I've eaten up to this point. And I do test things at home prior to going out, just in case. I've learned from other people's mistakes. And, and like I said before, a lot of people go on the internet to research different things, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. And I want to use my ability to be able to have gone through this to put out, to just get rid of the myths, and also to put out the correct information, especially when it comes down to what my journey consisted of. And everybody's journey is a little different, and how everybody reacts to it is a little different. But I think it'll be helpful for anybody else that might be interested in going through the bariatric process. So, got questions? Ask me. More than happy to answer them for you. When it comes down to the content that I'm putting on my social media, it's those items that work for me. And I want to share what works for me on my social media. Now, I may not be an ambassador for all the items that I share, and you haven't seen everything yet, but I want to at least give you all the opportunity to know what has worked for me and what I use on the daily. And because that's important. Our diets are protein forward and heavy in hydration. I have to take a multivitamin every day and calcium every day, and I get all that in as well as all of my protein. And it's just a new way of living. And if you use the tool right, then you're going to lose the weight, which, I have to say, being down 62 pounds so far, and it's just flying past the 30% goal at my 3-month appointment, which I was at 34% instead of 30, of 34% of my excess body weight lost, where I was only supposed to be at 30, kind of, tells you that I'm doing pretty well with it. And I'm a little bit of an overachiever for those that know me. And, but yeah, so questions, let me know. I'm more than happy to talk about it. And I think I want to use my platform a little bit more to educate. So I do have a YouTube channel. I'll post that link down below, where I've started posting my pre-surgery journey process there. And I will be posting more content there as I get the opportunity to do that, to kind of educate around the whole bariatric process, because I think that as healthcare professionals, we can do better with making sure that, that information is out there, is correct, or at least accurate as it applies to the bariatric journey. And some people don't have the luxury of having, free nutrition classes or group sessions by the bariatric group that did their surgery, either because they had it done in Mexico or they'd had it done by a bariatric surgeon that just doesn't have the bandwidth to be able to provide those services to them. So here I am. I'm here to help at any given point. If you need any information, I can get it for you. I promise. And if I don't know it, I know people that do. And I'm hoping that that this comes across in a positive way, because that's what this is supposed to be. It's a positive thing. And I couldn't be happier with where I'm at today. And just one regret, and that's that I didn't do it sooner. So I'll just leave you with that. And we're getting a little long-winded here because I think it's almost about 13 minutes in. So we will just leave it at that. And I will talk to you all later. Bye.